Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And if you're sitting here right now, it's the second Friday of the month, and that means our good buddy Jessica T. Moore is here. And we're going to talk about something that all you moms want to know about, mompreneurship. So sit right there. We'll be right back. The 9 at 9 with me.
Because I feel like as women, it's so easy for us to get caught up.
The differences between a rut and a grave are the dimensions.
So that means 99% of the people around you are wrong 99% of the time and 99% of everything they believe.
Your attorney should make you feel empowered in what you're being told.
Your shows are so impactful. You're just a consummate professional and you take it to the next level.
But only broke people think time is money. Rich people know time is not money.
I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, you heard me right. My good buddy Jessica T. Moore is here. We're going to talk about mompreneurship because, hey, it's rough out there trying to balance your in-home life with your business and start a business. At least I think it's rough. Hey, Jessica, is it rough out there?
Only if you say so. So it could go either way. It depends on how you look at it.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am awesome. I want to talk with you because I'm excited about this subject because a lot of people, a lot of women, and we should just say parentpreneurship because there's single dads out there too that are trying to figure this stuff out. It's like trying to get your business going, and still balance everything else, because there's soccer meets and parent conferences and homework that needs to be done and all this AI stuff and kids trying to figure out if they can get around with AI and not have to do their homework. There's a lot of stuff going on. And then you come along and say, yeah, you can still start your business too. What? Are you serious?
Yes, you can.
Tell me about it. How do you do it? Because you're a mom. You were also a full-time student for a while there. Congratulations on graduation. And then you've got not just one business, you got like a conglomerate growing here. You're building an empire. How are you balancing this stuff out?
Yes. So firstly, I have 3 children. My children are 3, 4, and 11 years old. And I have been an entrepreneur since about 25 years old. And so one of the main things that I would say when it comes to being able to balance everything is giving yourself permission to give you some time to be able to invest in yourself, because a lot of times as parents, we do feel guilty, like, well, how can I be doing this for me when my kid, need this or that, so I think that the best thing that you can do is harmonize.
All right. Explain that, because now I got a band playing in my head.
So at one point, when I had my last child, no more children. So when I had my baby boy, I actually went through postpartum depression because I felt like, okay, at this point I have 3 children. So I don't need to focus on my business. I need to be focused on my children. And then it was 2020. So the pandemic hit. And so when that happened, I stopped running my business. My husband kind of took over everything. And my whole focus was on my children. And what I found is that actually wasn't productive for me, because I needed to have some type of harmony and balance in my life and be able to, do something that was for me. So I thought, well, I'm doing the right thing because I let go and I'm just a housewife now. And that didn't work. So I found from there that it's okay to, some weeks I may have to put more time into my business. Sometimes I may have to put more into what my children have going on, but learning just that harmony and balance in your household, that all of it's needed. So that's kind of what I would say as far as harmonizing your life.
Okay. So what if there's probably a young woman or young man looking right now and they're going, okay, I've got a son or a daughter, I've got a job, but I have this burning idea for a great business to serve another business clientele, or maybe it's a product that they want to sell. Maybe it's network marketing, and they just can't seem to get that harmony going. It seems like every time they try to get started, some storm comes rolling over. How do you handle that, and how do you keep pushing forward?
One thing that I've been learning is I'm actually reading the book Atomic Habits right now, and it talks about setting a definite time, location, and what it is that you're going to get done. So for me, like what that means for me, when I say like I'm running my business and I'm taking care of my children, my business days is 4 hours on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And sometimes, yeah, I feel like, well, I want to do more, but it's like, I have to realize, I got kids. I got other stuff to do. So it's like just sitting down, even if it's just 1 hour, like 1 hour a week. Like we don't have to, we look at people and it's like, well, I'm going to do 15 hours. They be saying like, don't sleep, and stuff like that. No, you do what you can and you give yourself grace, and say like, this is what will work. So I can commit 1 hour. Then the next week you may commit 2 hours. And then next thing you know, you in a groove of what it is, but don't look at what everybody else is doing. Cause even for me, like I want to do a lot more with my brand, but I can only do so much because I do still have children. I am married, so I got to make sure I'm balancing and harmonizing my home.
Now, with everything you've got going on, I'll be really remiss if I do not mention that you're also an author. You don't just help people publish their stories, you have your own story too. So what's your book about?
So my book, Embracing Imperfections, it just goes over my journey of overcoming obstacles in my own life. Going through my life, I had some rough years as a teenager, and then I ended up pregnant as a teenager. So it just kind of goes into how I stepped out of that. I actually have a new book releasing. It's called Girl Fix Your Crown, where I really just step into like how I was able to, push myself forward just as a mom, as a wife, and be able to be the best version of myself.
That's awesome. So is this an anthology book, Girl Fix Your Crown, or is it a book that is exclusively you?
It's exclusive mine. I actually took one chapter from a book that I did with Les Brown. It was called Girl Fix Your Crown. So I'm actually turning that chapter now into a book. So that, it go back to what I said, do what you can. At the time, I could only write a chapter. And now I can take that and turn that into a whole book. So yeah, so that's what's coming.
So if someone's dream is to be an author, that's the business they want to be in. They feel that if they can be an author, they can be in a book of their own or an anthology book, then that will launch them because that validates them. What's the step process to get started in becoming a published author?
I would say the first step is identifying what story it is you want to tell, and then get around a community of people that's going to push you there. Because even for me, like as I'm writing my own book, since I'm not doing it as an anthology, sometimes I be procrastinating. It's hard because this is my first time doing it by myself. So I would definitely say the first step is getting a coach and getting in a community that's going to push you to the finish line.
And before we run out of time, you said something. It's like we do put it off. We do kind of, get caught up in our own ways and other things and all that kind of stuff. How do you keep yourself on track? What snapped you out of it, snapped you back into where you're supposed to be?
I keep myself on track by checking in weekly with my goals. Like I'm sitting down, I have a journal, I'm writing what was the intention this week, and then did I get that accomplished? Like how many times did I talk about my products? How many hours did I work on my book? So I think like checking in, I do a lot of checking in with myself just to make sure that I'm staying on track. Because like I said, I still have my children and different things like that. So yeah, that's what I would say.
All right. Now, before we get cut off, because you know how Alan loves to do that, tell everybody how they can find you, how they can connect with you, all that good stuff.
So you can find me on all social media platforms at Jessica T. Moore. You can Google me nowadays, y'all. I Google myself and I popped up. And then also jessicatmoore.com is where all things, where you can find out about more information about who I am and what I do.
I just love you. You said you can Google me. I pop up now. Of course you do. You are a true expert at what you do. And I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that episode. You know I want you to come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.